Hi, and welcome to New Answers Podcast, where we discuss solutions to life challenges based on our personal experience. I'm Gwendolyn Flynn, and
Tiffany.
we are continuing our conversation on spirituality as a solution to life challenges. And we had been taking a closer look at the Bible, but today, um, with my guest Tiffany Lee. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about the body as a temple, and treating the body as a temple. And so that's what our conversation is going to um, center around, because the body is a sacred temple. Um, and where spirituality is concerned, I see treating our body as a sacred temple as another way of getting that closer connection to the divine invisible. Um, and I say that because I don't know, and I don't know if we've had much of a conversation about the spirituality versus religion, and how for me the difference is that where organized religion looks at the higher power as being an entity somewhere outside of you in
Mm-hmm.
heaven or whatever. And for me, the difference with spirituality is we see that the divine power is within us, right? It's us, it's part of us. And so, in how we treat our bodies, because we have this spirituality, we have this connection with, makes a big difference. Like, what is it you put into your body, right? That is contributing to your health and your well-being, and it's the vessel that
Mm-hmm.
houses, right? That houses this divine spirit that you want to treat it sacredly. That's 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 Gwen's thought on this. What do you say about that, Tiffany?
I'm in agreement with that, and I would say that most spiritual leaders are also in agreement with that. You know, in Christianity, Jesus does say that our body
Mm,
temple, the
yeah,
temple of God is here, it's within you. It just gets kind of brushed over. They don't teach it that way. They still teach that God is, this outside force, and God, the devil, and everything that happens to us is either a blessing or from God or a curse from, Satan, as
yeah,
opposed to taking any type of accountability for our actions and who we are. And and I think it's like all connected, right? I think we kind of
yeah.
touched, so like we're connected to the earth and how the earth heals is healing for us, and the sun and the moon, like it's all connected. And because of the lack of divine awareness, divine feminine energy and awareness and wisdom, we are so disconnected from the earth. We're also disconnected from our bodies. We don't know
Yes,
how to listen to our bodies because God made us perfect. Like the we can heal ourselves, and He gave us everything we need to heal ourselves with the food.
absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. We have everything we need to heal ourselves, to be a whole person that we need to be. Because, the other thing about spirituality is, it's helped me to see that we embody the spirit, and that spirit is the connection to the higher power. And in that embodiment, we are made whole, and we have to nourish ourselves with um, with ingredients that are natural, that are provided to us. already, in nature. Uh,
Hmm.
and if there's any dis-ease at all, that, we have that available to us, and we just have to open our minds to it, open ourselves up to it, make that connection, and intuitively know, what is it that's going to work for us. Um,
Wow, we were on the same thought right now because you said intuitively no. And I was thinking about how when my dog is trying to push me off the sofa, he literally just wrapped himself around me and it's like pushing me. Like I was here first. He just sighed heavy. Oh my gosh, he's a little spoiled. Sorry for the side.
See, there's
Um,
something that you're saying probably that's, sparked him, that, that he's resonating with.
right. But I was just thinking when I use my oils and herbs, I do it intuitively. I'll think like, what am I feeling? And I never read a book about how herbs and oils work, but I've been using
Oh,
them now for like 15 years. My kids will joke, they used to joke all the time, like anything they get, they'd be like, my mom has oil for that. And my brother used to be like, you're a witch, right? I was like, you can call me whatever, but me and my boys haven't had to go to the doctor and be on medicine from the doctor almost their whole life. They got their shots, and then that's really it because I rely on oils, and I didn't do it to replace it. I just know that pharmaceuticals should be used when you really, really have nothing else to use. And
yeah.
I mean, we can talk about this in a minute, but the more you use it, the less your body can do for itself. That's the problem.
Yes, yes. I believe that too. I had written a book about this because I was dealing with some health challenges, and there didn't seem to be any answers from my medical doctors about why this stuff was happening to me. And I started to do some research on my own, to figure this out. And came across, I mean, a lot of different information, but basically looking at food, uh,
Hmm.
changing what I put into my body in terms of nourishment, and how that made me feel, and and the effects of it on my health. So I ended up going, plant forward, I'll say. Uh,
Hmm.
and while I wasn't able to address directly the condition that put me on that path, other things did, benefit me. Changing what I put into my body in terms of my nourishment lowered my blood pressure, lowered my cholesterol, lowered my weight. I mean, it just A1C, all of that, which A1C, you probably all know now, is related to your glucose and diabetes. And so all of those things were sort of a side effect, if you want to call it, of having to just changing my diet. That's, I mean, what I put into my body, and it was all, you know, plant forward. I didn't eat a lot of animal protein. I got protein from beans and from nuts, and from, some of the vegetables, a lot of the vegetables that I ate. I considered myself pescatarian because I did eat fish.
Hmm.
Um, but I felt better. I, had more energy. I mean, it just all kinds of things happened because of that. But, and so it was doing some research, and then, adopting this practice, and then how my body felt made a big difference. As I said, I didn't really address the original cause, the reason I got into it, but so I continue to operate this way. I don't have a whole lot of animal protein that I do eat. I do eat some animal protein, but not as much as I used to, and there's been some benefit for it. I also learned that the pharmaceuticals, which is derived, right, from plants.
Right.
But it's the processing that takes away, all of the benefits that you would get naturally from just going direct, using the plants themselves. But um, long-term use of pharmaceuticals is harmful to your organs.
It is. It is.
Did you know? Yeah.
They they you don't get all the side effects too. I mean, even herbs and oils, you could have side effects too. But once you process everything, because they do it to create a higher potency, although I don't think it works that way. If I compare using oregano oil to an antibiotic, I'm healed faster with oregano oil, whether
Mm.
it's bacteria or a virus. I think it deals with bacteria, virus, and fungus. Like it heals faster. So that's like it's a go-to now for especially ever since COVID, but even before, but definitely since COVID. My kids and I, we all carry with us oregano oil. It's very potent. It's like
Oh, okay.
oregano oil is something you have to get used to,
I mean,
but it knocks out a virus or bug or whatever really, really fast. There was a college student that did I think high school or college, and they did a little their own little science experiment where they put like a virus in a petri dish, two petri dishes, when they used antibiotics and then when they used oregano oil. Every time the oregano oil would wipe it out really quick, whereas the antibiotic, it was really slow. They had to add more. So then they tested again and put less of the oil in it and compared it. Still, it just like wipes it out like right away.
just natural, right? I mean,
Hmm.
I had never heard of oregano oil working
Oh,
that
I can't
way.
believe I share this with everyone. I can't believe I
Oh,
didn't with you.
I I
Because I
know.
never, but
Oh,
you're never
now
sick. I've never seen you sick. So if you
I,
had ever been sick, and we've been working together and doing this for a whole year now
I
almost,
know. I
and
know.
yeah, if you got sick, I would have been right away. Go get some oregano oil and rub it right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you know what I use is ginger,
Oh, ginger, awesome.
ginger root. And
Mm-hmm.
you can either, what do you call it? You can either use it as make a tea for ginger, but I just cut off a little piece of fresh ginger root and I will eat it. I mean, it's very strong and it's, it burns you. But I tell you, if I ever feel like there's some symptom of something coming on, I take the ginger root. And a friend of mine told me about this because before I was using echinacea and vitamin C, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of processed too. But I would take like, I don't know, 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C and that would knock it out. But then after a while, your body kind of gets used to it, I think. And so you have to come up with something. So I came up with it my friend told me about ginger, and I take that at the very beginning of, you're feeling your energy's going or your throat is getting sore, whatever it is, you take that ginger root and it goes away. Now I'm going to order some oregano oil and make sure I have that. So I have like, several options.
Several options, yeah, because they work in different ways. Like the oregano is really good for, it's like a natural antibiotic and antivirus.
Hmm.
Ginger root, same with turmeric, they're in the same family. They clear up swelling. And the swelling, so and the swelling is caused by your immune system realizing, ooh, we have an invader, we're gonna expand the white blood cells and or the I'm not a doctor, so it's the white blood cells. There's three types of white blood cells, but those are the ones that are the immune system, right? And
Hmm.
what happens is our body has a tendency to keep over extending that. So the ginger helps get rid of that.
Hmm.
Also good for like arthritis, um, anything
Yes.
that causes a lot of swelling. So I use ginger and turmeric almost every day, actually, especially since I hit menopause and
Yeah.
my joints and stuff during menopause started swelling, and I was like, ah, what is this? So
Yeah.
I buy ginger anyway because it's good for your stomach too.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yes.
and it tastes good. Turmeric tastes horrible, but
Yeah.
ginger tastes good.
Yeah. So, I told you, so I mentioned I wrote a book about these
Hmm.
findings that I came to, like the research and my personal experience, because I thought because my numbers went down, like I said, the cholesterol, the blood pressure, and all of those things, I thought other people could benefit from this information too, because that's not anything that will come automatically from your medical doctor. They don't necessarily share this with you. I don't know that they even know about it. How much time
They
in their training are they
they
given
don't. They're not given. I
information?
found out that
Yeah.
they only do like 2 weeks of nutrition.
That's what I heard. It was like somebody told me it was like a semester, which is maybe 4 to 6 weeks, but you said 2 weeks. Yeah, but it's minuscule compared to the length of training that they have. So
Right.
no, basically which is so ironic because isn't was it the Hippocratic Oath and Hippocrates that talk about let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food? Isn't isn't that
So
like
you know where that came from, right?
no, I
From
don't know where it came from.
witches.
Oh,
That's what
really?
witches do. That's why it's food is the medicine.
Yeah,
That's where they took
exactly.
that from.
Exactly. There is. And there's an Ayurvedic proverb that I'm not going to remember right now. I'm going to go to my book. My book is called Age-Defying Soul-Inspired Plant-Based Cooking. It's available on Amazon. And but there's an Ayurvedic uh, proverb that talks about Um, how does it go? I should know this because I was saying it like, I was repeating it over and over again. When diet is correct, something like that.
Hmm.
Uh, Food as medicine, page 11. Um,
Is that your book? You should
medicine,
show it.
medicine is of no need. Oh, so I don't know if it can be seen. Age-defying, soul-inspired, plant-based cooking. It's available on Amazon. Food is medicine. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. That's the Hippocrates said that, I guess. And then, oh, here it is. And this is in Eastern medicine and healing. When diet is wrong, medicine is of no use.
Wow.
When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. Wow, is that ever profound?
That's super profound.
Isn't it? It's an Ayurvedic proverb. And again, out of Eastern medicine, not Western medicine. And for me, Western medicine is all about disease treatment and management.
Yeah. It's
Eastern
not
medicine,
healing.
it's not healing. It's not, and it's not about prevention of disease. It's about you get the disease, now let's treat it and let's, manage it. And so I thought, isn't that a little backwards?
No, it's capitalism. They don't want to heal you. Whereas, like in some Eastern cultures, doctors don't get paid unless they heal you. Here, they get paid
Ah,
for tech. And that is what people have to understand. America is very capitalist. It's financially based, so
right.
they're the doctors. I mean, I don't believe doctors like go into it with that thought. I think they go into it, most of them go into it wanting to
They want to help
do
people.
good, right? Want to
Yeah.
help. But
Hmm.
the way our system is set up is that it's not for that. It's like they'd have to go, and many doctors are doing it now too, but they'd have to go on their own and study Eastern medicine. So my first experience with food or natural healing came um really from listening to my body in high school when I had when I developed an autoimmune problem and I couldn't walk, my knees swelled, my body swelled, and my dance career was over and I couldn't walk for months. Um, it was like my brother was chewing on some vitamin C's. It was like the Costco white pills that are super sour.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to try one. And I had one. And then my body was like, I want more of that. And I became addicted. My friend's mom would buy the
Vitamin
big
C?
vitamin C. So my friend's mom would
Oh.
big container from Costco and I
Hmm.
would take a handful and put it in my pocket and just chew on them all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Can't OD on vitamin C. And
Right.
but
Because
what it did,
the body will
it
release whatever it doesn't use.
yeah, but it doesn't use. And it put my arth it was like rheumatoid arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
It put it in remission within a few months. We didn't know that's what it was. My mom was just like, she took me to the doctor and was like, my daughter's eating vitamin C's like candy. And he's like, hmm, okay, well, it's the one vitamin that you can't OD on. It's not good for teeth, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to hurt her, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a few years later when I was working at a bar at the Laugh Factory actually, and my knees swelled up a little bit, and I mentioned it to a friend, and she was raised with like a kidney problem or something like that. And when she got older, she went to an Eastern medicine person, and
Mm-hmm.
he gave her some tea. And she said the tea to me smelled really, really good. But to everyone around me that would smell it when I was drinking it, it was horrible. She's like, but I bet you they have something for that, my rheumatoid arthritis. So she went and she researched it and she came back and she gave me the paperwork on it. And she said, okay, in Eastern medicine, they use high dosages of vitamin C to put arthritis in remission.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what I did. I was doing it because my body was like, this is what I need. And I was chewing that vitamin C, tons of it every single day. So it is something I still use. I combine it with, if I have swelling, I use vitamin C and turmeric now. Because when you add the turmeric, it happens really fast. When I was going on my first mission or second mission to Haiti, I had an inflammation. And this is girl, your body when you start cleaning it, it starts recognizing what it doesn't like, right? So I
Yeah.
can't eat at a very popular, I'm not gonna say, I don't know if it's legal or not for us to say it, but me personally, I can't eat at a very popular Italian restaurant that we used to go to on a regular basis growing up. Could be why I was so sickly. But so we went there for my niece's graduation one day, and before I left, and it had been years since I had any inflammation, or not before I left. By the time I left, got in the car, it was her graduation day. So we went there for lunch, pasta, Italian place, the generic one. So you can guess which one that is. Very popular though. From the restaurant to the high school where she's graduating, 10-minute ride, my knee had swollen to the point where I couldn't walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So
believe
let,
it's peanut oil that someone told me that restaurants use a lot. That can be very
oh,
body. Not peanut, I'm sorry, not peanut oil, seed oil. Seed oil.
okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what I learned about that. Um, you mentioned a number of different things, and I just want to bookmark it just so that me, hopefully we'll get back to it. You mentioned about your friend having the smell of whatever the smell was that
Yeah.
that it was it was something that her body was like, yeah, I need that. But everybody else around her, it was horrible. It was a horrible thing. And so I'm gonna come back to that, but I want to touch on what I learned about inflammation and what I learned about not only vitamin C, but turmeric. And what I wrote about, and I wrote about this in my book too. You have rheumatoid, you said arthritis.
Yeah.
I have osteoarthritis. So it affects the joints. And I've had bilateral hip replacement as a result of that
Oh,
because it's the what happens is the cartilage that connects your joints deteriorates as you age. And there's nothing at this point to do to replace it. And let me tell you, because I went to the doctor to find out what was going on, and they told me that, and the first thing they said, and this is obviously came out of the surgeon's mouth, you got to have surgery. You got to replace your.
of course.
I said, aren't there some steps that we can take before getting to that? Like, is there physical therapy or is there something other than, so no. But I tried stem replacement, stem cell replacement. It was using my own stem cells, so that was old anyway. That didn't
Right.
work. I tried what is the needles? The uh,
Acupuncture.
acupuncture. That didn't help. So I ended up doing the surgery, but I couldn't get the surgery right away. But I found turmeric, and I think a friend of mine told me about this. There's this combination of turmeric and black pepper, and the black pepper helps your body to absorb it quicker. And it
Mm.
comes in a capsule. And so I was using that. That was to manage the pain because the pain was excruciating.
Uh,
Uh, Between from the time that I was, told that I needed to have this and the time that the surgery was scheduled, I used turmeric to first it was in the capsules, and then I said, I'm not gonna because the capsules were hard for my body to dissolve. I was having problems with that. So my son came up, saw this recipe for what's called golden milk.
mhm.
Because turmeric does taste awful. It's not like ginger.
It does.
It's
And
out
I
of
think,
the same family, but it tastes awful. So, but he came up, he saw this recipe, it's called golden milk, that involves turmeric and coconut oil and black pepper, honey, if you want that, cinnamon, some other spices too. But it's a simple thing. But it tasted like a latte, and it was really good. And
see, your body needed that.
my body needed
I
that.
tried that twice and was like, "Ugh,
Really?
can't do it."
Oh, but it helped me.
Yeah,
But
no, turmeric is amazing.
it's amazing. So the turmeric, as you were saying, it helps to reduce the inflammation. Inflammation is what cause it, it's the swelling of whatever it is,
Right.
your tissues, and that's what inflammation is. And this turmeric and ginger and you said vitamin C, it helps to reduce that swelling and your pain goes away. So now let me tell you about this Italian restaurant and Italian foods, because I also learned, and I think I wrote about this in the book too, that there are so while there are natural foods that you can eat to help support your body, and help take away the inflammation, there are also foods that will cause the inflammation to happen.
Right.
Nightshade vegetables are one of those foods that
They're poisonous.
category of foods that causes inflammation. Tomatoes. And Italians use a lot of tomatoes to make their tomato sauce, right?
Hmm.
Probably you had some tomato sauce at that restaurant that shall be nameless that caused that inflammation to happen between the time you left the restaurant and the destination you were going to. So tomatoes, eggplant, I love eggplant. But I can't have it because it's going to cause the inflammation. And or you can eat it, but know that you're going to be uncomfortable and in pain when you eat it. So anyway, so I feel, you know, compelled to share this information with people so that they know what happens when you consume food. I mean, food is not just to make you feel good and fill your stomach. It really does.
Purpose. It's our medicine.
It's our medicine. I mean,
It's what our body uses to live. I do
to
I
give
do
energy
believe,
and everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I do believe, I do like the book Eat Right for Your Blood Type.
Oh, yes. I've read that too. Yes.
So I feel like I know in the spiritual community, a lot of people are vegetarians,
Mm-hmm.
or even further, a lot of it's because we honor the life of all living animals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is plants also have feelings too. You know what I mean? I have one friend that's like, he's getting a download that he can't eat anything that comes from a parent. So even some plants, you know what I mean? Because some plants it has to take a masculine and feminine to produce it. I was like, that's a bit extreme. but but to each their own, because really you have to listen to your body, right? Like, so for
You
me,
do.
when I eat meat and vegetables. I can do, and my body feels good. But as soon as I
Mm-hmm.
put in pastas or rice or all that kind of stuff, it adds a
Uh,
little bit extra weight on me because I do like the taste of it. But it definitely like immediate swelling. I don't
yeah.
get swelling from tomatoes, but I also will say this. The United States uses a lot of chemicals on
Mm.
our plants and
On our
everything.
food. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And the
So as
farming.
I've
Yeah.
been growing my own garden, the taste of everything is, oh my gosh, so different, so
Oh,
different.
mhm,
And and the the body's response to it is different too, because not only does the way we keep our vegetables fresh so that they can pick it one season, put it in the grocery store a year later. You know, it
mm,
goes into warehouses. So
mhm,
they have to use something to keep it alive. But it's
mhm.
not really alive, right? I mean, it's I wouldn't say petrified, or I don't know, because I can't pull a cucumber from my garden and it's going to be around a week later. It starts shriveling within days, but it tastes so different. It's like you don't have that bitterness from the skin. And tomatoes, we pull them right off the plant and eat them. I don't get a reaction from my garden vegetables. I don't use any, like, it's all organic. Um, and I also noticed when I was in Haiti that people that live there from America, they said all of their allergies are gone when they're in Haiti. And
Mhm.
especially like the peanut allergies and the um what is it what's that allergy people have where they can't eat certain breads and stuff like that?
Oh, glu gluten.
Gluten. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can eat bread there, they can eat peanuts, they can do I'm allergic to peanuts here, I'm not allergic to peanuts there. So it's all in our processing.
Yeah, I'm allergic to peanuts too, and I didn't find that out until I was well into my, I don't know, 40s or something.
Right. I think that they weren't using as many processes when we were
Mm,
younger because everyone
mm,
ate peanuts before.
mhm. So, the, oh my goodness, you said something that triggered something in my mind, and now it's fading. Uh, the food, we, I guess it's just that we need to pay attention to how our bodies react to
Hmm.
what we put into it. And that will help us to uh, discern, whether or not what we're putting into our bodies is going to be beneficial to us
Hmm.
and help to nourish it. But food is for giving us energy and for regenerating our skin and our hair and all of that. But it's important to really pay attention to how you feel after you eat something, right? And that's going to make help you make decisions about what you put into your body.
Yes.
The other thing I think I wanted to say too is about the reason we're talking about this in connection to spirituality is, I think you mentioned early on that a lot of people who are spiritual are also like vegetarian or, they have a different lifestyle,
Right.
especially in terms of food. But I think that's because, again, about how you feel when you put things into your body, that's because eating in that way sort of lightens you up and opens you up for
Hmm.
you to be more receptive to messages that you're getting from a higher power for that intuition, right?
That is true.
Or
Yeah.
the downloading that you get. And so when you eat foods that are, I don't know, that are weighty, not just weight in terms of pounds, but just make you feel sluggish, right? Your brain is in a fog. Those are the things that keep you disconnected, I think, from, the higher power being able to speak to you.
Yeah. And and the higher power can speak to you through your body too. So that's where um you start noticing, like you said, how your body feels, how to listen to your body, and
Absolutely.
everybody can be different, right? And
That's
that's
right.
what you have to know, that you can't, what works for one person may not work for you. Like everybody is different, and our body can talk to us. And allergies are really a way of saying, your body saying, I'm not healthy. I can't process this right now. But when you're fully healthy, you can process everything. But we have to remember, like, in moderation, we eat too much. You know what I mean? That's why
Yeah.
people fast, to actually get closer, to get messages. It gives your body time to heal. Fasting is so that your body heals,
Yes.
like, because every time we've taken food, it has to start working. It's like a machine working. So think about people when they're really eating 3 meals a day. It's like the body barely finished processing one meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Processing,
they're on
not
another.
using it, not using it for energy. And then you bring in something else and it has to process that and it gets backed up, you know?
Yeah.
So fasting's really good.
Yeah.
So something that triggered me too, where I was like, oh, man, it's because it's so many things. I've had so many,
Thanks so much. Mhm.
um, garlic. Okay, so, and I
Oh,
think these are nightshades, and this is how, like, you can't put everything in a clump, because peppers are nightshade, tomatoes,
yeah.
garlic. When my I grew up really sickly, and with the
Mm.
RA, those nightshades actually help the RA because
Oh, they do? Oh,
mhm,
okay.
because they all have high vitamin C in it.
Mm.
So when I was younger and I got sick, if I got the flu or something, before we knew I had juvenile RA, I would
Mm.
in the hospital. I would get, man, I got scarlet fever with strep throat one time, to the point where doctors are like, where does she go? How does she get scarlet fever?
Mm.
It could be floating in the air. My body's like, got it. Because it was so unhealthy. Because the way my parents, that generation, all the processed foods just started. And even though my mom was raised in a farm, she came to the city and then enjoyed the convenience of processed
The
foods.
convenience, exactly. Yeah.
And and it was like TV dinners, that was all popular then. Um, and not knowing how to listen to the body. So I was eating a lot of things when I was younger that made me sick. And I was in the hospital a lot. So when I got older, my first husband was from Africa and they used still a lot of natural things. Um, my mother-in-law had told me about pepper and garlic, and they use peppers, real peppers,
Hmm.
as a healing. When you get sick, you have pepper soup. Pepper soup is super popular with Africans. You're not going
Mm.
to meet one that doesn't know about pepper soup. You make soup with a whole bunch of different peppers, and she said that sometimes they would burn their hands making that soup.
Oh, yeah.
It would be so hot, but it will heal you so fast. When I got the flu, I came home with the flu one day. She made me some pepper soup. I ate half that soup, as much as I can contain. My body, my fever went through the roof, because fevers are good for you.
Oh.
I was shaking. I literally passed out. Okay. Woke up a few hours later, completely healed. It's
Okay.
a rough way to do it, but it
Yes.
works. I
Yeah.
didn't have to go a whole week with the flu. And when I got sick with the flu, I got sick because of my immune system.
Yeah.
So that is, like, if you're sickly, and so doing the research on that, the peppers with that high vitamin C and whether else is in it, goes through your blood
Hmm.
and cleans it. It takes
Mm.
toxins out of your
Mm.
blood.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
um, the pepper and the garlic, same. High dosage of garlic.
Hmm.
One of my neighbors, it was before this pepper incident, years before. She noticed, it was when I was still sickly all the time, like monthly. And I was like, I can't even work because I can't, my arthritis and everything was still acting up, not as bad. But she's like, oh, you need a garlic treatment. And so what she did while I was in bed, she came over, she's my neighbor, every half an hour and had me eat raw garlic for the day. I
Hmm.
stunk. My roommate came home and was like, oh my gosh, Tiffany. But I sweat that stuff out during the night.
Yeah.
And that ended my pattern of being sick every month. It
Hmm.
was a good year or so before I got sick again,
Hmm.
period.
Mm-hmm.
It also helped with the RA. So it's kind of like the vitamin C, the garlic, the turmeric, the peppers. But
Mm-hmm.
peppers definitely and garlic, when I did the research, it's what it
Mm-hmm.
does. It goes and cleans your blood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and I guess I'd heard about garlic doing that, it cleaning your blood. I didn't hear about the peppers. And so you're talking about, you are talking about hot peppers. It's not like the bell
yeah,
peppers,
no,
right?
I'm sure the bell pepper, honestly, the hotter it is, the
The
more
better.
vitamin C in it. Now I don't
Okay.
have the taste buds. My tongue can't handle it that hot anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the other thing I did with my kids whenever they got sick. We'd make a pepper soup or I'd give them some garlic, like
Mm-hmm.
eat garlic, and it really will wipe out a flu and everything super fast.
Mm-hmm. And it's about so your body processing that, and it may take some hours for it to go through your system, right? To be able to clean out your bloodstream, of course. It's going to
You will
take some
sweat it
time.
out
You'll
both ways. You'll sweat it
sweat
out.
it out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, this is good information. This is good to
I
know.
know. I
I
listened to a doctor recently. He brought up the garlic treatment, and he said, you typically only need to do it once or twice in your life. That's how potent it is.
once or twice in your life?
Life.
Really? It'll last. Okay, that's good to know.
I know.
I'm gonna have to try that. I was staying away from like the bell peppers because they say, that's part of the nightshade category that inflames your tissues and whatever causes the inflammation. But I'm gonna try that with the hot peppers,
Yeah.
and
I
see
think
how
that
that works. And
we
like you
have
say,
to,
everybody has different,
yeah,
makeup, so it's different for
yeah,
every.
I think what people have a tendency to do is be like, oh, this is bad, it causes swelling. Well, swelling on itself or what it's made for isn't bad. That's our body's natural way of healing, right? It's when it goes too long
Too
and stuff
far.
like that.
Mhm,
And that is because our body is so unbalanced.
mhm,
Like the memory our body has of how to heal itself is what we lose when we use Western medicine for everything. Like
mhm,
fevers are good for us.
mhm.
Fevers are our body being like we're going to burn out with this element because a virus and bacteria stuff like that, they can't live in the body when it's hot. That's why our body goes, ooh, we're going to fever up. We get a little hot, we take Advil or Tylenol. We take something to get rid of the
To
fever.
get rid of the
That's the
fever.
only reason why our colds and flus are lasting so long.
Yeah.
Like sit through a fever. It's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That means your body's working.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
went with
and I always thought when I was younger, I don't know how long younger, but maybe I was a young adult or something. But I always thought like why would you take things that were going to mask the symptoms?
symptoms. Yeah,
Because you need to know something's wrong, right?
right.
I mean, the reason you're experiencing this because your body's telling you that something's wrong. You've got something in your system that is your body is fighting it off.
Hmm.
Now so you need to know that so you can figure out how to help your body fight it
How to
off.
help the body. Yeah. So I
Yes,
don't
and
use the
not
word I'm sick
mask it.
anymore. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I
don't
thought,
use the word sick anymore. I'd be
uh-huh.
like, my body caught something and it's working.
Yeah.
My body caught something is working. So I might have a fever. I have a runny nose. If you think about it, if you really think about it, you take a decongestant or like a cold medicine to dry up everything when you have a cold,
Hmm.
then you're not getting rid of, then your body can't get rid of, it's just reabsorbing. That's
Exactly.
gross.
Yeah. 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 You're not getting rid of it. It's just like, yeah, it just
Yeah,
becomes part of you. So, then if you're taking that stuff and your system gets used to it, then you're not,
it won't
I mean,
fight.
yeah,
Yeah,
it won't fight off stuff anymore. So it's counteractive. It's counteractive.
counteractive. Yeah, it's counteractive for your body.
Yeah.
When I went on another mission to Haiti, I went with a friend who's a doctor, and she's big on like um Western medicine here. But we went to Haiti and we went to an orphanage and she was checking out the kids. And there's some kids that, you look at and be like, ooh, they're snotty nose or this, and that, they're feverish. And she did not she maybe gave one child out of the whole group medicine. but
Oh,
if maybe. I think
mm-hmm.
what she did was maybe said, okay, this child actually might need to go to the doctor. So when I asked her why she didn't give medicine because we brought it, she's like, well, because their bodies are doing what it's supposed to do. And if you give them medicine, the bodies can be dependent on the medicine and they won't have access to it here. So then they'll stop. And I was like, that's really interesting. And that's so the opposite of what you would do in America.
Right.
Because we like they give us the medicine knowing that our bodies are going to become dependent on the medicine and stop working the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. So no. And you know, I hope we don't come across, first of all, we need to disclose that we're not medical doctors.
We're not.
So any change that you make, you need to consult with your medical practitioner, whoever that is. Um, and so we're just sharing from our personal experience what, you know, we think might be of benefit to other people who are listening to this, but check with your medical practitioner first before you make any changes. And I hope we're not coming across as being anti pharmaceuticals necessary, because at some point you may need that. I mean, like
Right.
I ended up having to have that bilateral hip replacement surgery. It wasn't like one after the other. I mean, it was one after the other, it wasn't at the same time, but I ended up having to have that. But for me to manage the pain until I could have that surgery, I had to rely on the turmeric and the golden milk and the, all those things in order to manage that pain because it was so intense. But I also want to say that I kind of came into this, and part of my research was reaching out to like Dr. Andrew Weil and the books that he has written on, and he is trained as um, a medical doctor from the Western orientation, but he, I guess, on his own went out and began researching Eastern medicine, and so he uses a blend of Eastern and Western medicine. At least that's what he did when he was writing his books, and I guess these were books around in the late 80s, early 90s, 1900s. Anyway, it seems like we're talking about a whole different age, but it wasn't so long ago. But anyway, he was very popular for a time, I think in the early 90s or whatever. But his orientation was both Western and Eastern. He kind of blended the two. So, you have to, and I guess we were saying also earlier that everybody is different, that we are independent, and we, like there's no one size fits all. And
Right.
we're just talking about what was successful and what were best practices for us,
For us.
which
Yeah.
may be beneficial to some of you too, but you need to check it out with your and look at your doctor as a part of your team, your medical team. Like they're not the end all be
They're not the
all.
end all. You are.
Oh,
Your body
you
is.
are.
Source is.
Ex
Yes.
e- exactly. Yes, especially if you're connected to source. Let your body tell you, let source tell you what it is you need, and then consulting with your medical practitioner, decide what is best for you,
Yeah.
with your situation.
And I suggest have a
Mhm.
medical practitioner. We all should. We all do. I mean, if we do anything well here in America, is we do treatment for the disease, but know that that's when you go. You know what I mean? If you want to prevent, that may not be the best source. Go to a naturopath, go to a chiropractor, go to, do your own research. So much out there
There
and
is.
research with your own body. If you don't feel good, do a fast for a day and then reintroduce food slowly and notice, you know, how you respond to things. Because, boy, it does make a difference when you fast or when you eat clean. And the moment you put something in there in you, your body doesn't really like, you will pick up on it. Because we pretty much, if we're eating bad all the time, it's just like a gunked up car and it's
Yeah.
just going, really. If you like put in the bad gasoline and it needs an oil change, You change it all out, and you put the good stuff in there, you get an oil change, the car goes really well. Um, and then you notice when it starts having problems again, and that's your body. But if you've done nothing but not paid attention to what you put in your body, you don't know what it feels like to work at premium. And so the moment you discover, oh, it's working premium, then you feel every time you're like, oh, my body didn't like that.
Exactly. That's a good analogy, the car, because people easily relate to that. But that's exactly how our body works. You
Yeah.
have to fuel
I
it with good stuff, you
yeah.
know. And
And you want to sometimes, and it's okay. I had a burger and fries yesterday, and I was like, oh, it tastes so good at first. But then when you're done, you're like, you can hear, I mean, I can hear it from my body, like that didn't do anything for me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think someone said when you eat, you're either giving to your body, when you're giving it something it needs, like I'm going to make some cucumber salad today, or you're taking from it.
mm,
And
hmm
so every time, and it's okay to like eat a cookie when you eat a cookie, cake, or fast food, you're taking from it. Your body's gonna have to work to process that and probably get nothing out of it, right? But you
yeah,
got to taste it. Um, but when you eat something good for your body, then you're giving to it. It's like, yes, this is gonna help me
hmm
heal, give energy, blah, blah, blah. So
hmm
to me, is like a good gauge for like how much am I taking from it and how much am I giving to it with
right.
everything I eat and drink and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it and to approach it. And again, check out how you feel after you've consumed this stuff.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? And maybe one or two cookies isn't going to make you feel any different. So that means you may have four or five. But but just know that it is impacting your body, and then just pay attention to how you're feeling. And then like how much is okay. Because I'm not a purist. I think in the beginning when I was changing the way I ate or what I ate, I went to the extreme. And I think maybe as human beings we do that when we're making a change like that. You go to the extreme. I know for a while there, I was removing carbohydrates totally from my diet. For some, I don't even remember why I decided to do that. It wasn't real, it wasn't like I was allergic or anything, but I decided to eliminate it. And then I was feeling like a wet rag. I had no energy. And then somebody said to me, well, you need carbohydrates for energy, don't you? I said, oh, you do? And then I started reintroducing carbohydrate, and I'm talking about like potatoes and rice and bread,
Hmm.
started reintroducing myself, and then my energy came back and I thought, oh, this makes a big
Yeah.
difference.
Because protein burns fast and
Yeah,
carbohydrates sustain. The other
yeah.
thing I did a diet with no carbs. I noticed my hair stopped growing with no
Oh,
carbs.
oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you don't want that to
I
happen.
don't want that to
Yeah.
happen.
Oh, I
Exactly.
didn't notice that, but oh yeah,
Well, because my hair grows really fast
really
over my whole
fast.
body. I have to shave twice a day. I got
Oh,
to dye, I'm in my 50s now, so I got to dye my hair every 2 weeks.
yeah.
Um,
I
so
forgot about it.
I did like a one of those diets you do for a month and they take you off carbs and stuff like that. And you do lose weight, but
Uh-huh.
my hair stopped growing on that diet. I didn't have to shave for like weeks. And I was like, if it's not growing on my legs, it's not growing in my hair, on my
Right.
head too,
On
you
your
know?
head. Yeah, yeah.
So it is balancing everything
It is about balance. That's exactly what it's about.
and grow your own food, whatever you can.
Oh yeah.
Just just get less chemicals in it. Europeans, they won't take our food because of the way we
It's too many chemicals.
too
Yeah.
many chemicals.
The
Yeah.
way we
They won't
process.
take our meat because we feed the animals horribly. And that does, on a spiritual level, when you're consuming meat that's treated poorly, that's given, you're also consuming that negative energy. So that is something I'm conscious of because I consume meat still, but I do try to get kosher. That's why God gave the Jews instructions on how to um, kill their meat and do like their animals. That's why it's kosher, is because it's more humane. because like and that's so, to me, so beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want the animal, if you're going to eat something, you don't want it to suffer. That's all that negative chemicals. And then what you got to look at what the farmers feed the animals. If you are going to consume animal meat, see what those animals are consuming and how they're treated.
Mm-hmm.
Free range chickens, and all, like, when you think about animals, you know,
Yeah.
if you do eat them in this world, in 3D world, a lot of us need it. I do believe when we all raise to a higher frequency and dimension, we won't be eating animals and stuff. And it even says that in the Bible that, you know, cats and dogs will get along, like birds will lay with lions, even the animal kingdom will stop eating each other. Um, I just watched a couple birds, a hawk take down a pigeon, trying to eat the pigeon. The ravens came in and scared the hawk away to take over the pigeon.
Oh
I was like,
my.
okay, in this world, we still all do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my. It's it's jarring,
It
to see
was so
that.
jarring. I was like,
See,
ah,
see the ecosystem work,
the whole system work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. But I wanted to make a comment too about eating your own foods and natural foods. It's unprocessed. It's, the less processing there is, the better it is for you. And if you can grow your own, as you were saying earlier, how much better it tastes, because the food that we buy in the stores, they have to have a longer shelf life, as much as even the fresh produce,
Much as a year,
as
fresh
much
produce.
as they can, so that they can sell it. And so the flavor is not there. I
It's not
mean,
there. That's the missing thing.
it is.
Yeah,
It's horrible. I
that's
mean,
the amazing thing. It's like
isn't it?
there's flavor to this cucumber that
Yeah,
I never tasted.
exactly. Yes.
Or I remember growing up eating, because my grandfather had a garden still, and I remember eating tomatoes as one of my favorite things. I grab a tomato, put
Mhm.
salt on it, and eat it. I have not tasted a tomato like that in years until I started growing them. And
Yeah.
me and the preschoolers, we go out there and we pick the tomatoes right off the vine, and the vine
Yeah.
smells so good. We rinse it right there and we eat tomatoes. And it's so cute to, and
Oh,
they'll eat bell peppers and they'll eat everything like right there from the garden. We rinse
from
it a
the
little bit and
gut.
let them eat
Yeah.
it. Because you know what? It's, as long as there's not pesticides in it, the dirt
Yeah.
is good for you too.
The dirt is good. Yes,
There's that
absolutely.
book, Let Them Eat Dirt. That's for
Yeah.
a reason. That builds the immune system.
Oh, I haven't read that book, but yeah, yeah. I'm now, so, I live in a condominium, and so I don't have a garden, but I have a balcony, and I do, plant gardening, and I'm going to start an herb garden, and I think I may get into, like cucumbers or something like that at some point, but I got to see how successful I am with, with the herb garden first, and make
They're
sure I'm not,
harder to grow. They're so sensitive.
are they? Oh, I bet they are. And
I mean, some people think they're easier. I mean, this is my first year gardening, so I've learned a lot. It's not super easy,
oh, okay, okay.
but
And for me, it's
it's
like,
worth it.
yeah, I think it will be out, because I would love to be able to snip it, a piece of basil off,
Hmm.
and then, put it in my food and whatever. But we'll see how it goes, because it probably is very sensitive. But I'm thinking about, in terms of space, my balcony only has so much space, but I'll see, because maybe it's lettuce. Maybe I'll get a 5-gallon container or something, or whatever the dimensions will be, and it grows like lettuce and greens and that kind of thing. But I'm gonna
Well, it's
start
winter
with
time,
herbs.
so greens grow in the winter. So you can get a pot, and grow some greens if you eat greens.
Yeah, yeah, I will try that. But I'm put together a compost bin, so I can make my own dirt, so it's full of the nutrients that'll feed these plants that I put together. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm hoping to be able to start this. So I'm working on this compost bin, so that by February, I will have the dirt ready to start planning and be able to harvest it. I don't know, couple of months later, a couple of weeks later, whatever it is, however whatever time it takes to germinate the seeds of those herbs. But I'm really excited about it. So we'll see. So what a great conversation.
It
And
was.
you know, just starting out talking about our bodies as the sacred temples that they are, and honoring the sacred temple by putting fresh foods in it, or at least foods that aren't highly processed. That's going
Right.
to be the best for us.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you for this conversation, Tiffany, as
Welcome.
always. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have any reaction or response to what you heard from us, please put them in the comments below this video. And also remember to click on subscribe because you don't want to miss any episodes of our conversation. So for Tiffany Lee, I'm Gwendolyn Flynn, and we'll see you next time.